I have a problem. You see, one of my favorite content creators of all time is Ludwig. I've been watching his content for a while now, and one of my favorite things about him is how he tells his stories. The way he's able to keep you engaged at the beginning of any video is an absolute masterclass. However, out of all the videos he's created in the past, there's one video that I think he actually messed up on big time. What I'm talking about is a video he made about 2 years ago called I Hired a Professional Singer to Fool My Chat. If you don't know what this video is about, Ludwig decides to practice singing the song Conte Partiro and fools his chat into thinking it was an AI cover, when it was actually him singing. It's a good video. However, I think Ludwig could have made this a lot better. He could have actually improved a lot more on his storytelling. So because of that, I want to use this as a teaching moment to hopefully help anyone who wants to tell better stories by using Ludwig's video as an example. But before we get to the breakdown, I need to teach you a simple storytelling technique that'll help us pinpoint the problem in his video. This technique, you might be asking? Well, it's called the story circle. Created by Dan Harmon, the creator of Community and Rick and Morty, it was designed to be an easy and digestible way to help structure your story. Harmon was inspired by the classic Hero's Journey story structure, but when he saw it, he saw that it was 17 steps and realized he didn't have the fucking time to deal with this. He needed to make scripts for weekly episodes of all the shows, so he said fuck all that and decided to shorten down the process in 8 steps. The first step is you, which is to establish who the character is. I need to know who you are and what you're all about. Next is need, where you tell me what you want and what you desire. Why are you even doing this in the first place? After that is go. What is your plan in getting what you want? Give me the details, alright? Then come search. What struggles do you go through? What's the process? Once you finish that, it's all about what you find. This is where you use what you learn to get what you want. We have probably the most important step. I'm telling you, you need to remember this for the future. This step is called take. This is where you end up either paying the price for what you've learned, or you find out what you actually need to grow as a character. Once we're done with that, we have the return, which is where you come back down to earth and taking all the knowledge you have, you decide to use it to help fulfill yourself. Finally, we have change. This is the part where you tell me whether or not you changed for the better or for worse. Now that you know all the 8 steps to the story circle, let's apply this to Ludwig's video and see where he messed up. For the first step, we start with you. Ludwig doesn't really need to tell us who he is, but this isn't where he fucked up, because as a viewer of this video, you already know who he is just by visiting his channel. Okay, then what about his needs? What does he want to do, or what is he motivated by? Well, he explains how he comes across these AI covers and decides that he wants to fool his Twitch chat by making a real song and posing it as an AI cover. He tells me what song he wants to sing and why he wants to sing it. This is actually really good so far. Alright, how about go? What are his plans? Well, at 102, he starts off with the classic, boy! The plan is simple, spiel, and gives me his steps. Then we get to the search. Ludwig needs to start learning the skills he needs to sing this really difficult song. He does that by getting an instructor and practicing with him. Honestly, this was one of my favorite parts of the video. Just getting to see Ludwig's interactions with his instructor were so cool, and I felt like I learned a lot about what it takes to be an actual opera singer. After that, we get to find, which is where we see Ludwig actually in the studio, and here he attempts to sing the complete song. Now, this is where it gets interesting. I told you to remember this from before, but this is the most important part of a story. The take. It's at around 7:40, we see them going over the recording and listening to how it sounds. But it's after this moment where I think Ludwig actually fucks up. I'm going to play you a clip and you'll see what I mean.
Do you think they'll believe that it's an AI cover? Or is it too honest? Am I too human?
I think he can make you less human.
This right here, this is the definition of a takeaway. What Ludwig ended up doing here was showing that he realized that all the work he put in led to him making an incredible cover, a more human cover. He does acknowledge this part, saying that no one might believe that it's an AI cover, but I feel like he doesn't do it enough justice for the rest of the video. Instead, he details this elaborate scheme he did to convince his chat that this was an AI and undermines the value of the effort he put in by just saying it was stupid. All of that was his return and change. But to me, I felt like this was fucking unfair to me as a viewer. In my opinion, I feel like Ludwig could have gone and shown how putting all the effort into singing a song this difficult meant something more to him. That even people in his chat were saying stuff like, you know it's good because it was AI. This was something that AI could never replicate. actual human effort. I think it was way more important to highlight that fact, yet Ludwig decides to tunnel vision on his ideal version of the ending way too much. He wanted to fool his chat when in reality, that wasn't the point of the video anymore. What should have happened was that he needed to take more time to reflect on what he was able to accomplish. In a lot of good stories, when you get to the take section, it shifts away from what the character wants to what they actually need. For Ludwig, he needed to realize his efforts were absolutely incredible, and chat needed to see what it means to put in the effort to make a song versus making an AI cover. Ever since I watched this video and seen the ending, I've been pissed off because there was so much more that could have been done. To me, I feel like Ludwig not only committed a disservice to himself, but also to his chat. This is the one time I believe Ludwig actually fucked up as a storyteller. Now, I don't think Ludwig messes up his takeaways all the time. In fact, I think he did a great job conveying it in his recent video where he tried to be a French baker. But I wanted to highlight this video to anyone who's watching to not make this mistake in the stories that you tell. It's important to show what you realize or learn because that's what creates change. And change is what makes a story so entertaining. The lesson here is don't be afraid to put more of yourself into your videos. Don't be afraid to show what you've learned and how you've grown, because sometimes the original goal that you have can change, and that's all right. If you want to learn more storytelling tips like this to help improve your videos or just have better conversations with people in general, please consider subscribing and liking this video. I want to make more content like this in the future for people who are struggling with their videos and their storytelling overall. I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Luck Deep's Lab, and remember, stay eccentric out there. Peace.